And welcome to Wheeltalk, episode number 101 on Pistols at Dawn. Do a little housekeeping today. We have a new show on Pistols at Dawn coming out this week, Deep Tech Seattle, on SoundCloud and YouTube. Going to feature some local techno, local electronic music, some live mixes, live podcasts, a lot of exciting stuff. Stay tuned. Fridays this week, first show for Deep Tech Seattle. Have links to that in the comment, or in the description, rather. Also, launched this week, Patreon. Support Pistols at Dawn through Patreon. You can check it out. Send us some dollars. Buy us some coffee. Buy us some beer. Get this party started.
That's a way to do it.
Yes. I'm Colin, and I'm here with Matthew. And this is Wheel Talk. Start off with some news.
Let's start. Man, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, what an introduction. Dude, okay. You hear this, I saw this KUOW news story.
I heard this story earlier this week as well about parking.
Should Seattle declare a war on parking?
Absolutely.
To fight climate change.
Right. What's this one about?
Well, let's see. Well, as the downtown continues to move around, becomes bigger, and more people move into the neighborhood, they want to think of decreasing the on-street parking.
How much it says here, there are 12,000 paid on-street parking spaces in Seattle.
Whoa.
And that does not include private parking.
Right. So it doesn't include that triangle that you see in the middle there.
Right.
But the spots around it does.
Yeah, if you're just listening on the KUOW website, it's this picture of the Triangle Parking Garage in Pioneer Square. Lots of places to store your car.
There sure are. Man. Well, do you think cutting those things out, the street parking, is the right move for carbon elimination?
I don't know. It's interesting because the question is about the parking rates. But how much of that space could be used for people mobility?
Yeah, what do you get from eliminating parking?
Correct.
Somebody was asking.
What are the trade-offs?
What's the trade-off?
Instead of storing a private automobile in that public right-of-way all day, we are now able to use it in a way where potentially thousands of people are getting on and off a bus.
Well, there you go.
Makes sense to me.
There you go. More bus riders.
Why?
More cyclists.
It could be for bike lanes too. I wonder why there's so much. I mean, is there a lot of revenue to be made with on-street paid parking for the city?
Depends on how much there are.
I mean,
I guess there are some.
They fluctuate, right? Like on Coveted Hill, it's different.
Yeah, there's different rates for different neighborhoods. Pioneer Square's expensive, which is where that photo is on the KUOW website.
Parking prices are a burden.
Is it a burden, though, if they then say, okay, well, instead of this parking spot, do you get more transit?
But if there, and it goes further to say that if there's no bus, then how do you get home?
How do you even get home then?
So you're forced to drive.
You're forced to drive. Yeah, you're almost forced to drive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it factors into the commute. The costs are more significant to lower income
workers. Yes,
lower income workers that have been displaced from the city.
Yeah, that have to move in, drive in,
been forced to move further away when. Yeah.
Okay, so it's saying here that then you take them away, and then they become more expensive. But in return, you're not getting those transit options that you need at, say, the early hours or late afternoon or late nights. Oh, I love this. I love this graphic.
Yeah.
How much parking space?
500,000 parking spaces, most of them in residential areas, not downtown. So the proposition is that downtown parking spaces will be repurposed for transit priority.
Transit priority
is kind of how I would sum up the article.
Yeah, and then I think it's getting some feedback.
But
I think
carbon
maybe
emissions.
popularity. Yeah, I mean, if you throw it under the umbrella of, say, we'll do this, and it will also decrease carbon emissions.
But is that how we get
I don't know if that's
Seattle?
what-
Is that how we get the city to be on board producing carbon dioxide? I mean, we see the correlation between cars and emissions.
Absolutely.
But is that why we need to reduce greenhouse gases?
By eliminating cars. So I want to know what the argument is.
There's
I
so
was
many other
reading through
reasons.
here.
There's so many other better reasons to get rid of cars.
Is that-
It might have an environmental benefit, but the bike lash will be terrible. But the
Bike
backlash might be bad as well. Says the art. Who is this? The traffic engineer from University of Washington.
Right.
The drivers will
cars just
punish
as much as
elected
anyone.
officials. Is that what goes on in Seattle?
They'll punish you.
Drivers punishing elected officials for removing parking. That's insane.
Yeah, that is.
There may be a case for phasing out street parking if it means a better future with more options.
Could you also say then that like smokers would then backlash against like non-smoking laws too?
They have, but it's they don't have any argument.
Yeah.
It's very similar.
You're gonna displace me where I'm smoking.
Right. We can't smoke inside, so we smoke outside.
So we smoke outside.
And that's fine.
You can't park here.
There's
so
an
park somewhere
environmental
else.
benefit from removing smoking from indoors. And the backlash from smokers might not be so bad. I mean, how many people, comparatively, as far as like killers go, how many more people do cars kill than cigarettes?
Cigarettes.
If we're gonna compare killers, let's not compare killers.
Yeah. Okay. But cigarettes. Right.
It's a great analogy or a metaphor or whatever the hell we use to describe things.
this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bus lanes
In place of. All right.
in place of parking. Brilliant.
Yeah. Well, if
In
there's no
certain
street
places-
parking, then you just park privately.
What was okay? The tunnel's going to be closing
Yeah.
for construction.
Okay.
Why don't they make third the tunnel?
Third the tunnel.
Yeah, I mean, if the tunnel's closed, make third. Repurpose the detour. Like plan the detour route effectively
For buses.
while the tunnel's closed. No cars on third because we have to use that space for
Oh yeah.
because the tunnel's closed.
I think that was an idea for fifth.
It doesn't have to be permanent. Just
Or was it fourth?
Just be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Just be like it's only for a certain amount of time, but make it easy for people to get around.
Yeah, well, you got to get rid of those parking spaces downtown to do
right?
it.
But that's it's never the first. The parking spaces seem to. I want to hear some.
There's no way you
feedback
can
from
send a
this
bunch of-
community about this, about the drivers being up in arms and punishing elected officials for removing parking.
Yeah, that's a harsh words. I love the title of this, by the
Yeah,
way.
what is
The
that?
War on Parking for Climate Change. It's
Correct.
just so many good buzzwords, man.
Right.
There's war,
Well, I
there's
mean,
climate change,
we've
there's your
seen-
parking spot.
We've seen
I
the
wasn't a
microphone
Napoleon
fall
that
over
time.
many times. We've seen the same post. Should Seattle declare war on parking to fight bicycle change? This is the first time. This
Yeah.
is so intriguing.
Bicyclists, bike lanes causing traffic to move slower.
Mm-hmm. This is a new narrative. I like it,
Yeah.
and it's the same counter argument, which is interesting. The backlash from drivers. How do drivers get so much power and privilege in this
Yeah.
city?
Yeah. Well, oh man, I could relate to this article. However, so where I'm working at, they would monthly. When I first started my first year, they would monthly give you a $50 stipend to do whatever transportation needs that you. A lot of people use it to find their own parking spots.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody got pissed off. They thought, no, I don't need to pay for my parking spot. You pay for it. So the company now pays for their parking spots where I'm at.
Okay.
But now they don't give you that $50 stipend of paying for your transportation. So I guess since I'm a cyclist and I'm not parking my car out there, it's causing other people.
You don't need the benefits, so they don't.
I don't
have to
get
pay
any
you
of the benefits. Yeah.
Just be so okay, right? That's not cool.
Right. And
So you'd have to get a car just to get the benefit.
You would, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Privately subsidized.
But since
parking.
you don't need it, they don't.
Maybe that's one way too. However,
Interesting.
to say, if there's no on-street parking, then maybe your job should just provide you a parking spot or provide you monthly,
Right.
like
That's
money to provide
standardized,
parking.
Correct.
If
But
you
it
need to
should be fair for everyone.
Yeah, or you can do whatever you want to. If you want to get like an Orca card or some type of transit pass, then you can just do that.
There are a few businesses that go out of their way to. I'd love to have them on. Some transportation people from some of the bigger corporations around here that have dedicated to minimizing their impact as an organization, whether for good or bad. I mean, there's like the Facebook buses and
Right.
the shuttle
There's the Microsoft
services. It's like
shuttles going around.
Yeah, it's like you got these private services that are necessary because the infrastructure can't support the growth to the degree that it needs to.
Yeah.
That's a big gap. The fact, it's responsible on the company's part, however, irresponsible on the city's part to make the companies do that or not incentivize that. I don't know. It's not fair for everyone.
Yeah.
Uh,
I wonder though, like on-street parking downtown, if they just get rid of it all, then a lot of people won't be going downtown.
But if they're strategic about where they get rid of the parking, if they make some streets just no parking, this like Denny. You don't park your car on the street on Denny.
Pretty simple. Yeah, it's not saying that you should get rid of all of it.
No, this be
definitely strategically right. Eliminate parking.
Eliminate certain parking places to enable mobility.
Yeah, this way people don't have to park.
There's no need for a backlash. It doesn't have to be about the environment.
I'm actually really surprised.
Elected officials
say like getting rid of the parking on 2nd Avenue.
Oh yeah,
that's really. I find that's really great for those businesses along 2nd Avenue.
But what's interesting is instead of but there's so many other instances where they've tried to incorporate parking with protected bike lanes at the detriment of all modes. I think about Broadway on Capitol Hill.
Okay.
You've got accommodation for all kinds of multimodal transportation.
Yep.
However, it's the street space, the literal space is too small.
The fact that they built places, they still like design the streets so that you could park your car along there.
Because people were complaining because there was driver backlash. How did drivers get so much power? What do they do? How did they get so much influence?
Right.
Paying car tabs? We know that they don't pay car tabs because they got all up in arms in a backlash about those going up $5.
Yeah.
I think it was $5. I don't know.
Yeah. And now people are pissed off that the streetcar
yeah.
isn't moving so efficiently or smoothly because it's stuck in
it's
traffic.
In the streets.
Yeah, it's in the street with if it had its own lane, there wasn't a parking lane, then it'd be moving fine.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Yeah.
I don't understand why streetcars and bicycles must share, where it makes more sense for streetcars and regular cars to share.
Yeah, why do they
get the bicycles out of that equation? Like streetcars and cars mix okay and can mix effectively. And
yeah, it's basically a permanent bus.
Yeah. Buses as well. I mean, like put all the motorized vehicles in one place.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking about the First Avenue bus line or streetcar.
Oh, right.
And how they're gonna incorporate that into their. I feel like they're gonna have to sacrifice car parking.
They better, yeah. Is that what they're building right now along the waterfront? Is that why it was down to one lane? Are they making tracks?
Oh, when we were going down Jackson?
No, we were going down Alaskan Way.
Oh,
in front of like Edgewater.
No, I think they're going to send the streetcar up First Avenue.
Oh. Damn it.
Yeah, you know that one.
Oh, I know that one.
Yeah.
But we got Western for bicycles. That one just open. Bicycles. Western? Yeah.
I forget where that one is.
Right, but underneath the market.
Under the market.
There's a protected lane.
Oh. Somebody's knocking,
Someone's hammering.
hammering away.
Welcome to my hood. Always under construction.
Oh, let's move along.
Yes.
All right.
Shared spaces.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking
Okay.
of shared spaces, were we? Yes.
Yeah, we were. We were.
Public places.
Yeah.
Like streets and parks and
I've been seeing some more
street
videos
parks.
and it's on YouTube, just like looking about shared spaces. What do cars and bikes and pedestrians? How do they all interact and stuff like that? Oh, it got me interested when I was in Tucson and they have that streetcar there. There's some great signs that show like bikes crossing over the. It's a street sign that shows like a bike like falling into the rails.
like if you
Merge into it, you're gonna
like here's
fall.
your fate.
Yeah, it basically showed you that on the sign. Anyway, so I was like,
Blood
I
and
wanna see this.
everything?
Huh? Oh yeah,
Really?
ghost bike and everything.
No, really. Like, is there like blood on the sign? Because that'd be dope.
No, but that'd be a great addition to it. Effective.
Yeah. Trigger warning for this sign. This sign is rated R.
Just the Department of Transportation.
I think that is a bigger opportunity in Seattle than we realize. There is something to be said for autonomy. There's also something to be said for how much guidance a lot of people need. I don't know if I could say that any differently. But I think that hits it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people need more guidance than others.
Yeah, gotta let them be free, but I mean, some
It
people are
is-
reckless, man. Some people are crazy.
We were talking about the cell phone thing. Cell
Yeah.
phone in cars. It's like that. We brought it up. Wow, we get real political on this show. Oh, yeah. Cell phones are like guns. Oh my gosh.
Hey, you're gonna use
You
them.
can't control them. But we're going to use them. They're not going away. There's nothing we can do to get the phones out of the people's driving's hands.
Yeah.
That's inevitable. The behavior is not going to change.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse. So knowing
People
we're
love
not
their
going to be
trucks so much. I get it. I loved my car when I had it.
I loved
too.
it. I loved it too. It was, but the technology has enabled us the opportunity to. It's essentially deprivatizing the car,
And
it's just allowing more car sharing, enabling it.
sure.
It's fairly unprecedented.
Yeah. But somebody's making money from that.
Oh,
though.
absolutely. But as a cyclist, it's worth it for me to renew my driver's license when it's time
Yeah, because they're not
for
going away.
using the car sharing services. I don't
Yeah.
own a car. I don't pay car tabs, but it's worth it to me to maintain my skills in driving
Yeah.
because I have the opportunity to use other car sharing services.
You'll be using it. I mean, I use
Not
it whenever
primarily.
If I move, you gotta.
If I move, I'm going to have to get a car. Exactly. And I still know how to drive.
Don't tell Tom this.
Okay.
Okay.
I prefer to bike everywhere else.
Yeah.
I don't have a good place to store my car. If I had one, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's a strong car culture in Seattle. I'd love to bring someone on and just
It's
talk
huge.
about it. I mean,
We talked about how we saw the Subarus like when we first moved here. Everybody had one.
yeah.
Everybody still has one.
a lot of Subies.
A lot of them hatchbacks.
Mhm.
So you got to be outdoorsy, but so you need a car for that.
Oh, dude, the cars are like the marketing, like advanced marketing classes is like the car industry.
Whenever,
Because just like the cell phone industry sold us the sexiest things on the planet, they learned it from the car industries because how else are you going to be buying a car every 5 years?
yeah.
I mean,
How else do you sell a car every 5 years, right?
yeah, I mean,
That's a good point.
They perfected the idea of selling shit you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
Every time I see every time I'm watching a game, like a football game or
so
something,
many ads,
just
for
all cars, and then they'll get like the Seattle background with the water. It's like that shot doesn't even exist.
They're
And
creating,
then-
this is your life with this car.
Oh yeah, I hate it's my worst. The worst thing I've ever seen is they put bikes in car commercials. They're like, yeah, you can mountain bike out there, and then you can take your bike and put it on your car. And Then you can drive home happy.
Or you can just bike out there too. And
Yeah,
that's
you
fun.
just bike out there. That's fun too.
Mm-hmm. I mean, taking the bike in the car is fun. It's a whole
yes.
thing.
Yes, it is fun. But they're selling
But you know
the
who
car
else?
using a bike.
Zipcar has bike racks on their bikes or on their cars now.
Good.
I know, right? Adventure time.
Yeah. Cut away.
Cut away to adventure time.
Adventure time. Oh, shared spaces though.
You had a point.
At a point. Can we share? Can we share the streets?
We're sharing them for parks. The parklets are taking away parking.
Yeah, they are. They're just painting the pavement.
Pac-Man Park. There's that Pac-Man Park summit.
I dig that one.
Yeah.
Only one of the. It's got like one umbrella.
Yeah.
If it just rains, and if it's not raining, it's just like sun in your face. So, what are you gonna do in that park? It makes it easier to cut through.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like a big
Cars don't go through
sidewalk
there anymore. Yeah, it is a huge sidewalk
Yeah.
with some great artwork on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Shared spaces. Let's save that for another day.
Well, we'll keep our finger on that pulse.
Yeah, we'll keep coming back to it.
Always.
Sure. Want to talk about a public safety hazard?
Oh, do I?
Warning.
Warning: public safety hazard. Controversial material. Controversial content ahead.
Yeah. Make sure
Are you talking about helmet freedom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Freedom.
Freedom from helmet hair. I mean,
oh, that's a whole yeah. Anyways,
but I did a thing last summer where for most of my commutes, I just didn't feel like bringing my helmet because I decided that it was.
how long do you commute for?
It's a 6 mile each way. It's about 45 minutes.
Right.
And I'd say like 90% of it's on protected bike
Right.
protected bike path.
Right.
Off street.
Sounds pretty safe to me.
Yeah. I thought so. It was the middle of the summer. And
Thanks.
yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect. Bike weather. Okay. But is it a safety hazard for you to not to wear that?
Possibly.
Whose safety?
My safety.
Who's in charge of that? Anyways.
Me.
Yeah, right.
And that brings me to the Seattle, or is it a Seattle thing about how we're King County helmet law, where it's required that you wear a helmet. However, if you're drunk, it doesn't matter. Like if you're drunk and you don't wear your helmet and you crash your bike, they don't care.
Right. It's not.
If you're sober and you don't wear your helmet and you crash your bike, who's gonna get hurt? You.
Yeah. Who's gonna get hurt? Right. You. If you're drinking and biking,
If you're
who's gonna get hurt? You.
who's yeah.
Me.
If you're not wearing your helmet and a vehicle runs into you and you get knocked off your bike, who's gonna get hurt? You.
Yeah. It's where you gotta like choose. I feel like okay, so for your commute, if you're spending most of the time on protected trails away from cars, that's a little different than driving with traffic too.
A little bit.
There's a different risk.
Definitely.
And only because there are cars
yeah,
involved.
Absolutely.
If there weren't cars involved, there would be way less risk.
And there are definitely points where I have to cross, where I do engage with traffic along the way, intersections or otherwise.
Sure.
In that spot in Fremont along 34th.
Across the bridge?
No, after the bridge. Between the bridge and the Burt Gilman.
Right.
That's another missing link.
Right. Unless, of course, you go underneath it. Wait, no.
I think I'm supposed to cross the street twice.
So
if I'm coming from the Westlake Trail or the Westlake.
Coming from there, going up, aren't they expecting you to go left, go underneath the trail?
Or
they built that two-way little mini.
Right, like it's supposed to make that left in the left turn box
right there,
and then go on there underneath this
and then go underneath it.
Right, But I don't go to Ballard. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but they want you to go underneath.
But you can go right, and it takes so much less time.
I know.
But yeah. Anyway.
Go east along there instead. East? Yeah.
Missing link.
Missing link. Another one.
So there was a call to action recently about the helmet law.
Yeah.
On the Bike Happy Bike Happy mailing list. If you're not on the Bike Happy mailing list, get on it. We'll link to it.
I just signed up.
Bike Happy Cascadia. Everything biking.
Yeah, they got your
even
policy.
.83
If you like your politics, if you like your events.
If you want to work in the bike industry.
Oh yeah, job postings. I think it's just fun to see what kind of jobs are available in the bike world.
Absolutely. I mean, it's great that exists.
Yeah, make money fighting for the cause.
Get paid to ride your bike.
Paid to do it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
just
we
talk about bikes.
We were talking about a segment about people getting paid to ride your bike. If you ride your bike for money, hit us up. Wheeltalk Seattle at gmail.com.
Yeah.
And we want to hear about it. We'll put you on the podcast.
I'm really interested in.
We'll follow you around.
Any curry and courier.
I
love curry, but I love couriers too.
Bike couriers, like, yeah, we both did that, but
both did Postmates. That really started off the biking, but I know Conduit's got bike delivery.
Conduit Coffee. One of the bike bingo favorites.
Absolutely.
Last 2 bike bingos, very great, very good sponsors. So yeah,
really
it'd be great to follow one of those guys around with one of our GoPros.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I told you about going to Boeing, but who knows?
Oh, they do the bikes between hangars and stuff.
Yeah,
it's such a big place. Oh, that's
such a huge.
Fun. Yeah. So if you know anybody at Boeing that rides their bike between hangars, we'd love to talk to them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tell me, how do you share that space with the 787?
Yeah, who gets priority there?
Mm-hmm. Man,
size wins. Or size probably. It's like T-Rex.
And you're just riding around there. Hey, you're made for the air. What are you doing down here? This is my space.
Ever heard of a turn signal, buddy?
Yeah. It's got the pilot sticking his arm out.
Yeah. Speaking of reckless and stupid. Trying to think of a new name for this segment, but couldn't think of anything other than, speaking of reckless and stupid, we present to you now the fuck of the week. And that is this is influenced by the Lyft or Uber driver, but it could be any driver. I don't want to discriminate drivers. Bad behavior.
If you're bad, you belong on this.
You do. And how do we do this? How do we properly shame people?
You gotta call that number on the back.
Yeah. It's not always an option.
No, it's not.
Especially in this Lyft Uber world.
Right. But they're all black cars. You're like, no, it's the black car.
You just look for the mustache. Yeah. And you're like, oh, man.
That too. Right? Yeah. Oh, dude, if I see a little sign in the window, I know to like.
Is that like car racism
care.
Of sorts? It's like if I'm judging them for the fact that they're getting paid money to operate their motor vehicle commercially through a gray area. I'm all for gray area. However, it's sometimes
it's gonna
not
be
very
bad.
safe.
It's gonna be bad because somebody's gonna say, "Hey, a lot of those people who are doing that are actually,
Yeah, there's a very diverse group of people.
It's like, oh, that's not what we're talking about. That's bad drivers.
Precisely. Anybody is capable of being a dumbass.
Yeah.
Indiscriminate of anything. If you're a person, you can be a dumbass.
Yeah, I see a lot
what
of
we're calling out.
A lot of people in their Ferraris too, just driving around like, yeah.
I've also seen some people driving around in their Ferraris and like obeying all the traffic lights and stuff, like obeying the rules. Like, so there's people out there that know how to share the road.
Yep.
And it's really what it comes down to.
There was one person that we told the person, hey, you shouldn't park here.
Oh yeah. So this is where I'm getting it. The fuck of the week segment. If you can think of a better name for us, help, please. Puns appreciated. This Lyft driver, check out this motherfucker riding down Dexter, which Dexter, if you're not familiar with Seattle, has.
Is it north?
No, I was heading southbound on Dexter, just at the bottom of the hill, where the bike lane and the parking lane merges to become only a bike lane at about Aloha Street.
Mm.
And there's some apartment buildings in the front area where there's, typically there's plenty of parking. There's plenty of short stop parking and drop off zones and a bike lane that is really safe. And
I thought there's side streets too.
There's parking along the side streets for sure. There's tons of parking. There's parking garages, private or otherwise.
Yeah.
But Dexter is, besides Westlake Promenade, is one of the only ways to get over the hill. Anyway.
As you're coming down the hill.
Yeah. So I'm coming down the hill. The parking lanes are ending, and this Lyft/Uber, any driver, your
passenger pickup.
What does the Onion do? They do like area driver. Yeah. Seattle driver. We'll typecast them that in some way. Anyway, fuck of the week, Seattle driver.
Mm-hmm.
Working for hire with their flashers on, stopped right in the bike lane in the quote space in front of the last space before the parking space is ended, and it becomes just bike lane.
Oh yeah.
It's like a big bike lane, like a triangular bike lane.
Yeah.
And it's tough because cars are like zipping past, and you gotta like look over your shoulder.
Yeah. So you're looking to your left. There's for cars.
Yeah.
Checking the right for the parking.
And the person's just stopped there, loading up bags,
Just
taking their client to the airport.
It's only for a second, Colin.
And it's only for a second, and that's fine. And
Yeah.
I've spent probably the last year at least just like trying to figure out how to handle this situation, both for myself, like what's the best way to deal with this as a person.
Yeah, how do you call it out? And
do you call it out? Is like say something. What's my position here?
Right.
And I've seen some really terrifying reactions, to the point where I'm gonna see a gun in my face probably.
Cars follow you.
I don't know. It could escalate. However, this last one did not escalate. It actually got kind of funny. Got really awkward, but kind of funny. So they're like loading bags, and he can't get the trunk to close, and he's like, "Is this happening right now?" And I'm like talking to him about asking him why he's stopped in a bike lane, and how it's really kind of inconvenient for me to like.
Was this guy in the car, or was he?
He got out of the car to help the person load their luggage into their, because that's how you work. He's working the tip.
Yeah,
I get it. So I've got, his customers, and this driver is like full attention. I'm waiting for them to finish up what they're doing. I didn't have anywhere to be at that point, but I was just like saying how I wanted to get home, and I wanted to use the bike lane, and I could tell that things were starting to heat up. He was like, "Are you really doing this to me right now, bro?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I fucking am doing this to you right now.
Serious?
I forgot my helmet today. My fault.
Right.
My bad. You're parked in this bike lane. I don't think I should. I'm gonna wait.
Yeah.
You're almost done. It'll be fine. I'm making this decision."
Yeah.
It's getting really awkward because you can't close your trunk, and these customers are like, "What's this dude doing?" I'm like, "I'm just waiting until you're done so I can safely continue along the journey."
Right.
And I think all three of the people involved took something home. Like they were like, they're gonna hopefully look at bike lanes different.
Yeah.
I mean,
get onto that plane, get off in Nebraska.
Who knows?
Be like, maybe there should be a bike lane.
Yeah. Or that Lyft driver is gonna like think twice before stopping there again. Who knows?
Yeah, that too.
But that's what is so interesting about the taxi versus Uber Lyft debate. Any car for hire has to get a commercial driver's license to carry passengers. And they're held at a higher accountability, I think.
Yeah.
Someone
The
correct me
cars-
if I'm wrong.
The cars are
Please.
insured by the
Cars are
cab
insured.
company, but that is also your cab
Correct.
that you take care of. You also drive that like every day.
And there's regulations that have been put in place, and the cab industry has had to operate under forever.
Yeah.
And there's other people that are doing the exact same work that aren't subject to the same rules.
Yeah. So the cabs are held to a high standard.
As they should be, because they're commercial drivers or limo drivers. Any
Where's the
livery
standard?
transport situation presents a whole. If you're driving for money, it changes your mindset.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very obvious to me when you're biking, that mindset. I understand, and when if you're biking for money, you're in a different mindset.
Oh, absolutely. I was gonna say that. I was
That's
gonna say
the
when I was biking, I didn't give a fuck sometimes.
If I were doing that with a car, I wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
Like I feel like I can honestly say I've been in that situation to where, I would have no problem blocking a bike lane for just a second because it was convenient for me. If I didn't have any other scope for my reality. Like if I didn't realize that there was an impact on cyclists. But I do because I realize.
Yeah.
I mean, it's changed my mind. But how do we deal with it? How do we
You definitely have a different
get the
point
word
of
out
view.
without being dicks?
Somehow you get them to ride a bike.
I don't
being
know.
confident.
I mean, it'd be
with the
great.
same
I'd
thing.
love if they would ride a bike, but it's like telling us to get a car. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like it's funny.
It is pretty good. So, all right. That's not going to help.
So that's it. That's my fuck of the week.
Well,
It turned out to be an okay experience, I think.
that's
But,
good. Perhaps some lessons were.
Lessons were learned by all.
Learned.
That didn't escalate. The de-escalation portion was where I was particularly impressed.
Yeah.
Where it went from, "Are you fucking serious right now, bro?" I'm like, "Yeah, I forgot my helmet. I messed up," which is something I learned from some Jordan Peterson psychology. Anyway, I'm just really addicted to that right now.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
stuff.
I got it.
Good. Yeah, you gotta check it out, man.
Okay.
I just picked up his newest book, and I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
let me know about that one.
Yeah. But I could see it escalating, and I didn't want it to escalate.
So
And
the
I-
de-escalation was.
It was
Comforting.
was my intention. I intentionally de-escalated by saying, "Hey, man, I forgot my helmet. Yeah, I messed up too. I'm a vulnerable human being, but that it broke the tension enough to give him a chance to see where I was coming from,
Sure. That's good.
and staying chill and like making jokes." Well, it was like, yeah, it's getting awkward because
While you're waiting.
yeah, it's like, that sucks. Your trunk's not closing. Like, I'm not getting mad. It's just it sucks that it's getting even more awkward because of what you're doing. I couldn't have planned that better. You know what I mean? Like the more awkward this is, the better it is for me because
the more memorable it's going to be too.
Exactly.
It's going to be like,
And that's where the stand-up comedy thing kind of came in. It was like,
let's play this out.
I wonder if anybody caught that on tape, because that would have been real funny to play for you guys. But yeah, and then I was.
How was his demeanor when he left?
I don't know. They took off
Seemed
and they
okay.
went to work. I think so. Like I saw him turn. They were probably going to the airport.
Right.
Like the daughter hugged her mom and they took off. And the daughter, yeah, she's got a story too, which is funny. And they were speaking. They spoke in a different language to each other about something at some point. But I don't know.
Oh, Seattle international fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Way to send him home with a great ending.
Yeah. There was just so much good. So yeah, the situation could have gone so much different, but again, it gave me some insight into how we can work. It gave me some glimmer of hope for how can we deal with these fucks. I don't want to call them fucks, but that's what they are.
Yeah, because if you just like match their anger with yours, then nobody's gonna. I mean,
we're
nobody's
both
gonna.
after the same
everybody's
thing
gonna be
here.
pissed, and
Right.
you're just gonna intentionally forget about that later.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the car before where if some bicyclist was in my way, I'd be pissed, kind of thing. But that was in a different place. This is not where we live right now.
No.
We can do better. We can all do better.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
There's ways. Either design a street, whether it's street parking,
If it's an engineering
it's just
problem, or
being nice to one another.
I think it's all of the above.
Yeah.
It's being thoughtful.
I almost hate those load zones, though, on 12th Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
Because then people are just like coming in and out.
Very similar situation.
I thought about having like
on
load
that
zone.
Stretch.
I thought that was a good idea. This way people would go to the one space. But now I'm just finding out that they're not even trying to get into the load zone. They're just They'll just rather just sit in the bike lane instead of just like trying to get closer to the curb.
It's
completely what I thought it was gonna be.
It's like it's very interesting. It's like if you give them a place to go that's too small, it's not suitable.
No.
But in the intention's there. Like I get it, but it's not adequate.
No. I mean, it picks people. I mean, people get picked up and dropped off like they're supposed
all the
to.
time. Yeah.
But I mean, it's just not the right way.
Like the Pike Pine corridor debates. It's like, what are we going to prioritize, and should we have traffic on there at night for safety?
I love this one. I love it that Pine already has a two-way bike lane going up and down, and the options for public comment I remember seeing were, okay, either having Pine be a no-way bike lane, having it be a one-way going down Pine and then one-way going up Pike, or two-way going up Pike. I thought, why even get rid of any of the bike lanes? Like, just make more of them instead of getting rid of them.
Or prioritizing. If it's still based on the piecemeal mentality, you know what I mean? There's no cohesive network of bike lanes.
No, there's not.
And that, I mean, kind of like the thing in Fremont. It's like all of the protected bike lane in the world, I can, but that one part of Fremont where I'd have to wear a helmet is where I get hit. And it's like, should I have to wear a helmet the whole time because of that section on 34th where I have to transfer? Yeah. Or could we just make a cohesive network?
Yeah.
Vision zero.
It's addition by elimination.
Right.
Which is too bad.
Isn't that what that Roosevelt kid was proposing? He was designing streets.
I didn't see that, but
I didn't see. I saw the post, but I
pulled it up.
I don't know if he. Let's see. Some bike happy.
This high schooler, from what I get the gist of it, this high schooler designs a street next to his high school. That looks quite friendly.
Imagine that.
Yeah, as if he would know what his high school needs. Come on.
Oh, it was, I think, last week's episode.
I know you could go to seattlebikeblog.com and find it.
We could hire someone to look up this stuff for us.
Yep.
Can find a volunteer.
That's
what I meant by hire.
Yeah.
Oh, Seattle bike commuters are the 5th most badass.
Oh, yeah. Did you click that? I didn't see that.
Okay.
It needed me to subscribe. It might ask you to subscribe.
Of course it does.
Can we just put in our email address?
Ad blocker detected. Sorry. I'll do it later. Anyway.
Yeah.
Teeth chattering. Yeah, we don't have snow.
Yeah, so that can't be the worst. We can't be the most badass if there's no snow around here. Mm-hmm. There are hills and there's rain.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so much.
And there's plenty of darkness.
This kind of looks like Seattle, though. Kind of.
Just a bike.
Nah, maybe it's kind of Chicago-y. It's got a Chicago vibe. Anyway, the rain.
That'd be quite the
We've all seen those riders bravely riding into what we were talking about. Where's that kid's designing streets? Any other events coming up this week? We do. We got some events coming up this week.
Yeah, Wednesday we just found out about the Stoked Spoke series at the Rhino Room. Where's that? Capitol Hill? The Rhino Room, yeah. I think that's on 11th and Pine.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right across the street from Cal Anderson. And right behind Rancho Bravo.
Okay. Rhino Room. Right on a bike lane.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a bike lane next to it.
Parking.
There's parking outside. I've parked my bike outside there overnight before.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've been there on multiple occasions. Only for the bike, though.
It has nothing to do with rhino room.
No, I've been there once. On a separate occasion, though.
Anyway, we found out about this today at the warehouse sale. Matt, you got some parts at the Bike Works warehouse sale, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I'd like to use these parts for a fixed gear.
Mm-hmm.
Your fixed gear is quite inspiring, sir.
Oh, thanks. It's a lot of fun to ride.
It looks like it is. You just climbed Alaskan today?
Yeah, that wasn't so bad. It hurt, but it wasn't so bad.
It's as long as I remember it, but not as steep as it seemed before.
Yeah.
But it was still a hell of a long climb.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, climbing on a fixed gear is definitely different. I'm excited to put straps on it. I couldn't find any pedals at the warehouse sale today. I was looking for pedals, but we've got an opportunity next Sunday for the bike swap Cascade. Where's that? Magnuson Park?
Magnuson Park, yes. Way up towards the north end of Magnuson Park.
Mm-hmm. More vendors. There's like $5 cover charge and stuff.
Yeah, more vendors. Probably even better quality stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Just
There's
because it's like a once a year
consignment.
type of a deal. I mean, it's a cover charge.
But Bike Works is going to be there with all the stuff they didn't sell at their warehouse.
They had a lot of carbon fiber forks.
A lot.
Like threadless.
Oh,
plenty
really?
of threadless carbon forks.
I saw you had that like matte black one with silver.
Yeah.
And there's like 8 or 10 of those.
There were.
But they look kind of small.
They look small. Definitely. Well, they're threadless too. I don't know what. Sorry, bike folks. I don't know what that is.
Oh, I'm learning.
I'm learning about it.
We don't have threadless. We have quill stems right now.
Quills.
Mm-hmm. I like the internally threaded.
Yes, those ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know how to mess with right now.
Right. But the threadless is easier. I think
Somebody turned me on to threadless. Ours is like ribbed. I like the ecstasy Trojan.
Do you even know what you're saying, Matthew?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want the ones where you don't feel anything.
Are we talking about
On the fork.
handlebar stills?
Yeah, of course.
Forking.
Forking.
Practice safe forking.
Go threadless.
Go threadless with your forks. Anyhow, bike swap.
Yeah, so there's going to be some good stuff there.
I'm going to bring some
If you know what that is.
cameras.
You can get it pretty cheap. We'll bring some cameras.
Magnuson Park.
I'm going to be looking for a frame there.
Yeah, you got some good stuff. What'd you?
It's going to have to be a frame that fits me too. What did I get?
Oh, yeah,
Let's check it out.
Yeah, grab your stuff and check it out.
Okay.
And you got it right here.
You got it right here.
Okay, I gotta have to grab that. Nice. Well, why don't you tell them about it? I'll grab it.
All right.
Tell
let
them
me
about
tell
it.
you about it.
Tell them about it.
Got a front brake, lever, whatever. It looks easy to install. Got all the parts, all the components. This way, while I'm still learning, I still have a brake, safety brake. And it seems small enough, and at a nice tilt. I feel like it's gonna be great. Bring that in here.
Oh yeah. Let's get a close up.
This was all on its own. It's called the Orphan bike parts, but it doesn't have a partner. Doesn't mean it's orphan. It's just single and ready to mingle. Look at that thing, fresh. Okay.
What else did you get? Did you tell them about the seat?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay.
All right, the seat is, I don't know, it's got this thing in it.
Ooh.
I hope that's going to be nice and airy, but it seems cozy enough, in good shape enough too.
Mm-hmm.
And I like a firm seat. Because hopefully you're not sitting on the seat the whole time. Hopefully you're pedaling most of the way. So incentive to be on your pedals right here. Look at this.
Mm-hmm. I had a
That's the
comment
sound alarm.
about that one. Look at the. Is it carbon?
No,
Okay.
it looks like
Looks
Metal.
like a solid.
it does look solid. Actually.
So you got a brake lever and a seat.
Brake lever and
What's your
seat.
total investment?
Oh,
in your
total
fixed
investment
gear?
$5 for the two
$5
for both.
And do you have any other parts that you're considering using for it?
My neighbor donated 2 wheels, frames.
Nice.
To me, are purple.
Nice.
And 32 spokes, which is what my rear hub is, and it's a single gear with the switch. It has the option for both, for the freewheel and for the.
Did you get? Gear. I think you got a similar silver one, to the one I have.
Similar to yeah. Yours has the double option too. Mine's actually the black option.
Oh,
it's like
nice.
black color.
Did you get it at the Bike Works? Sale too. A couple years ago, and it smooth. The inside seems smooth. Oh yeah, brand new, man. It was it was a brand new hub when I was picking them. They had a few of those hubs as well.
Today they did.
Yeah.
No. So
that's sick.
Sunday I got to take the hub with me. It's like make sure that the hubs and whatever.
So the important thing about
fit.
Yeah, the important thing about the flip flop, I was thinking about it. Is like if you can put to make sure that it's the fixed gear is when it has the 2 layers of thread. So there's like a thicker or a bigger gauge on the inside, and then on the outside there's a smaller gauge, and that's where your lock ring thread's on.
Oh, I see.
And it's a reverse thread typically.
Oh, dope. Okay.
So yeah, that's what you're looking for. And
I'll look closer. And what about for the frame?
For the frame,
make
you're
sure
just
that the hub fits in there.
I mean, yeah, it's mostly like big enough,
right?
As long as it's about the same size as your frame, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm not going millimeters yet.
No,
I need to get one of those measuring sticks first.
I mean, measure your frame and then get it within a few centimeters of that, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a standardized way to measure your frame.
Yeah, most come in like 57 or 59.
Yeah,
59,
they're measured in centimeters.
I'm looking for.
But as far as like where you measure from, along which tubes.
Oh.
But I think that's accessible on the interwebs.
If I could also find one that has a fork attached, that would save me some trouble.
Yes. Or if you find a bike that's donated to refurbish.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
Like a complete bike with parts on it. That's how I got. That's my dark blue bike, Iceberg.
Iceberg, right?
Yeah.
It had all the parts and components ready to run, but
I mean, it was
different plans.
It stripped most of them off.
For real.
Oh yeah. The whole drivetrain. The only thing that is original on that frame is post seat, and front brake.
Is that so?
Yes.
Wow.
Everything else is different, I think. Yeah. Anyhow, bikes are a lot of fun.
Yeah, they are. Get some builds in the future.
So
I'll show you around.
Yes. So we're going to cover this Wednesday, January 31st, of the Rhino Room Stoke Spoke series, which is, we don't know too much about it, but we met the person that's going to be presenting at the Bike Works warehouse sale, and they seem pretty cool.
Yeah, they mentioned that it's going to be adventure cyclists sharing about their adventure cycling.
And
maybe a slideshow form, or who knows.
Right?
Speak form.
Sounds like something I'd be into.
Yeah, me too.
What time does it start?
6:30 or 7?
That's what I remember him saying. Facebook. Doors open at 6:30. Presentations from 7 to 9.
Perfect.
This season's dates are January 31st, February 28th, and March 28th.
About once a week.
$5 at the door.
Yep.
Interested in sharing your routes? Please apply on Facebook. Blah, 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 blah. Good stuff. What else do we got? We got and then we'll be hopefully on location at the bike swap if that camera comes through.
Oh, I'd love to.
Yeah. Talked to Mike at Bike Works too.
Yes, we did.
He's interested in being a guest on Wheeltalk.
Yeah. I won't disclose much about him until
we
talk to him again.
Yes.
But yeah,
the good news is we've got some ideas. We're going to be reaching out to more people for guests and segments and
we're going to be out there searching for guests. If you want us, guest yourself on here.
Wheeltalk Seattle at gmail.com.
Yes.
All links in the description because we know how to use social media. I think.
Still working at it.
Yeah, we're learning.
learning
Still learning.
how do people do the hashtags. That's still
All the
good question.
hashtagging and. We've been talking
What time
for
are we at?
We're like an hour.
An hour in?
Ooh.
Man.
It goes by quick.
Sure does.
Should we wrap
So
it
we
up?
got we had the upcoming events, everything we did.
Check us out on Patreon.
Everything I wanted to and more.
Check out Pistols at Dawn. Look out for Deep Tech Seattle on Friday. Yeah.
And thank you.
And we
keep watching.
Keep a wheel.
Yeah, keep a wheel. Send some stories, man. I want to hear about your fucks of the week, but don't make it dirty.
You can make it a little dirty, but
I want to.
Don't not really violence. Yeah. Maybe violence.
That would be a good story.
If we can think of a different name for fuck of the week, it's still got to convey that same.
Yeah. Why do you got to do this now? Why are you here?
Yeah, I'm usually not pro vandalism, but destroying something that they love, which is their car, they love a lot. It really hurts their feelings.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like having that power, but
Dan should share his.
Yeah, we'll head up Dan. Dan's gonna be a guest soon. He said he agreed.
Great. We got one guest signed up.
For sure.
Looking out for more coming this week.
All right.
Okay.
Signing out.
Signing out. Wheeltalk.